So Brandon Steiner has built a career shaping the world of sports marketing, memorabilia, and brand building. But his newest book takes him in a whole new direction, into the squad cars and precincts of the NYPD.
It's called The Ride-Alongs, what I learned about policing, crime, and the New York City justice system. And Brandon is here this morning to share what he learned. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. This was a journey.
Yeah.
Not a safe one. You know, I spent over a year, probably over 15 ride-alongs, and all over the boroughs. One up in Syracuse. You know, in some of the worst neighborhoods on, weekend nights. So I wanted no filter. I wanted to be right in the middle of the action. And it's exactly what I got. And the police were extremely generous in giving me that ability to get into places. That we took a gang down one morning at 5 in the morning.
That's crazy.
I did the security detail at the UN when the presidents were in. Crime lab, police academy. Wherever I wanted to go, they gave me the access to really understand what was going on in urban policing.
But this is such a departure from what you're known for. So why did you decide to do this?
Stupid. I've done a bunch of work with the police over the years.
Okay.
And I've always done a lot of work with, inner city kids and charities that try to help people in the inner city. And I just felt there's too much of a gap. Like, what's going on here? Like, police are not getting any of the love. Their brand is probably at an all-time low.
Okay.
And when I go into these neighborhoods, I can understand why, but also I can understand where the desperation and problems are in these neighborhoods, that there's much more of an investment needed. To give you an example, one precinct, 2-mile radius, 9 homeless shelters in one precinct.
Wow.
11 gangs in a 2-mile radius, where 5 police cars strolling around one night. And we never got to all the 911 calls.
Wow.
And we worked with no dinner.
Yeah.
So the amount of issues that are coming up on a police docket just in one police car, unfiltered, is unimaginable. I don't know if people understand, especially when you're in suburban.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a 911 call here or there. We never caught up to all the 911 calls in 8 straight hours.
That surprised you?
It depressed me because the amount of domestic violence, the amount of people not getting along, and then you get the crime. And it's hard to keep up, and it's hard to prioritize. I thought what was amazing on the police end was that they're able to prioritize, because in such a busy, hectic, crime-filled neighborhood, there are a lot of good people there. And you're trying to sort things out.
Yeah.
And also you're down 30% in almost every precinct, not only in New York, but pretty much around the country.
Yeah.
So your police force are down, less men and women on the street. To personalize it creates a little chaos.
So what were local leaders saying about what you uncovered in your ride-alongs?
I mean, I think there's some interest, especially I spoke to a bunch of, I spoke to judges, lawyers, and also local leaders that were in those neighborhoods. And, they have their view, and I try to share it in the book. It's not a one-sided, the police are the greatest thing in the world. There's some hiccups in the police department, although they do a lot of great work. But there's also a view from the people in these neighborhoods that are really crying out, that want tighter, safer, more communication, more empathy. And for a young officer, sometimes you want respect, you have to give respect.
Yeah.
Even though it gets a little confusing. And I think there's a huge problem with juveniles. A lot of adults are using the juveniles to commit crimes because they get off a lot easier. These gangs are all different ages, and we're definitely having trouble putting the bad guys away.
Yeah.
So it creates a lot of frustration with the police because they're arresting people. We arrested somebody, it was like the 30th arrest.
Yeah.
You have 30 arrests on your rap sheet. It's incredible.
That is crazy.
It's crazy, but it was very generous to the police to give me this access.
But you said you were crazy for doing it. Would you do it again?
No. No, I don't want to stay married, but also, it's. I mean, when was the last time you feared your life? Like, you were 8 hours straight.
That's nuts.
Every ride along, you're in these dark alleys, you're going into buildings. I went wherever the police went.
Yeah.
I hope that people give this book a chance, because I think after your health, your family, safety, what is all the things that we have
exactly
if we're not safe?
And
the crime's coming up your way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Brandon, for your time this morning. Brandon's new book, The Ride-Alongs, is available now. And police and community leaders are teaming up to give kids a new place to belong.